learning destination for classes 1 to 10. So we call it as the most sincere learning destination because we try harder. Right? So over here in Swiflearn, all the classes are 100% live classes and interactive classes. So over here, if you have any sort of question, any doubt, any confusion regarding any of the topic, you can ask anything in the classes only, and the teacher will be able to explain everything in the classes. Fine. Secondly, we give the personalized attention to each and every students of our batches, because our batches consists of maximum number of 6 students, not more than that. So these batches may be like one-on-one batch, or 2 students in a batch, or maximum 5 to 6 students, so that it will also help us to keep an eye on you, how you are performing in the batches, how you are doing the homework, how you are learning everything, as well as it will help you to ask any sort of doubt and confusion regarding the topic, so that everything, all the concepts will be clear to you. Right. Thirdly, we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously keep a track on students progress. So how you are performing in the class, how you are doing the homework, everything will be tracked, and accordingly you will get the feedback, so that you will be able to improve yourself. Right. And fourthly, what we have is, that is very important, that we cover all the syllabus as per your school examination schedule. So you can request some of the things, like some of the topic which is going on in your school, you want them to prepare first, so we will make you prepare those first, and then we will move on to the other topics. Right. So this type of custom request we handle generally, and according to your school examination, we will make sure that we will prepare yourself, you, and then you will go for your school exam and the board exam. Right. So these are the general features of Swiflearn. Now let us find out what are the key features of Swiflearn. So first of all, we maintain a detailed progress report of each and every students, where everything is totally clear and total detailed right reports are there, which will be saying you how you are understanding everything, how you are uh, like grasping all the different topics, in which topic you were lagging, which topic you were already prepared well. So the lagging topic will be, you will practice again and again, and you will like improve yourself, how you are doing the homework, what homework you have missed, or everything will be given to you, and accordingly in different intervals, and accordingly you can improve yourself. Secondly, we have the SATs, that is the Swiflearn academic test series, where you will perform and you will understand where you are ranking all over India. Right. Thirdly, you can take a lot of practice states, so tests. Right. So unlimited practice tests are there for each and every subject and each and every topic. So after completing per topic, you will go to the practice test and write the question answer. You will solve all the question answer, which will include both objective as well as the subjective question answer. So in case of objectives, you will find the true false, filling the blanks, one word, MCQ, match the column, and so on. Right. True false and all. Right. And in case of subjective question, obviously 2 marks, 3 marks, and 5 mark questions are there. So subjective test is for your school exam. So before going to the school exam, you can perform over here, you can solve a lot of question and answer, and we have a very good team of teacher who will check them, and you will be able to get the tips from the teacher, that what are the key words you were missing, or what are the different things which you have to include in your subjective answers, and mainly the diagrams in case of science, and chemical equations or graph, whatever is needed for the complete answer to get the full marks. Right. That is more important. So everything will be suggested to you, and you will score better. Right. So these are the key features of Swiflearn. So now admission is going on for the new session. Please quickly book a free trial class, so that you can experience all these things with us, and you can like learn with us. Right. So what you have to do, I know that already you have subscribed our channel in YouTube. If you have not subscribed till now, please subscribe our channel in YouTube, press the bell icon, and never miss any of the updates. So all update of all the upcoming classes will be coming to you, so that you will get to know about all the topics and the teachers, so that you can like choose Swiflearn, right? So please be with Swiflearn, be with us. Okay, so please like, comment, and share with your friends and family members so that they can also come to know about Swiflearn. So this is all about us. Now let us move on to the topic, right? So as you already know that we were discussing about the topic water. So the two sessions we have already completed before about water, which is there in class 6th CBSE syllabus, right? So according to class 6, we have already studied a lot about the water, the different sources of water, how we use the water in our daily life, as well as a lot of different processes which are related to the water in the previous session. So let us find out what today we will study. So in today's session, we will mainly discuss about the water, which will go back to the ocean, right? Then we will study what will happen if it's heavily raining all the time, right? And also we will discuss what will happen if there is no rain at all for a long period of time. Okay, so these two things are very important, we need to know, right? And then we will come to know about how we can conserve the water. As you already know that although 71% of the earth's surface is filled up with water, but most of the water is the sea water or the ocean water, right? Those are the salty water which we cannot use directly in our different daily life activities. So we need the fresh water which will be very like good in amount, like quantity, and as well as the quality, right? So that quality water we do not get in various region, these are lagging, right? These are very less in amount. So how we can conserve the water, this conservation of the water is very important for us. So we will study this, and then we will study about the rainwater harvesting. Hi Shivansh, how are you? Good afternoon, beta. Good afternoon. Okay, after a long, right? We are meeting. Chalo. So these are the objectives of today's class. And then now let us find out what we have already learned in the previous session. So we have already learned about the water cycle, the whole process of the water cycle in previous session. Remember? So can you tell me what is water cycle? Let me see, Shivansh, can you quickly tell me what is water cycle in the chat box? Okay, let us now find out what else we have already studied in the previous session, that is evaporation. That is the process of conversion of the liquid water into water vapor is known as evaporation. We have already studied it. And we have also studied about condensation, that is the conversion of the water vapor, that is the gaseous form of the water, into the liquid form, right? Into the tiny water droplets, right? Which help to form the cloud also. And we have also seen a lot of examples of the condensation in the daily life in the previous session, remember? So these are the two processes which we have already studied. Oh, you are at home, very good. Okay, advance happy birthday Shivansh. Okay, chalo. So these are the things which we have already studied, and we have also studied about the cloud formation. So how the cloud formation takes place, let me remind you that when the sunlight falls on the different water bodies, the heat of the sun actually makes the surface of the water heated up, and then what will happen, evaporation will take place. Now when the evaporation will take place, the water vapor will go upward and it will go up higher in the atmosphere. Now when they will go up higher in the atmosphere, very high, it will come in contact with the cold air and it will form the cloud by the process of condensation. ठीक है? So what will happen, first evaporation will take place, that means the water will become the water vapor, and in the higher level of the atmosphere what will happen, the water vapor will be converted into water, right? That is the condensation, and the cloud formation will take place, right? So after the formation of the cloud, what will happen, when the cloud will be too much heavy that it will not be able to hold that much amount of water, it will fall down as the precipitation, remember? Yes, so the different types of precipitation, it can be the snowfall, hailstone, or rainwater, anything, right? So these types of precipitation takes place, and this whole cycle is called the water cycle, right? Yeah, Shivans, you have already given me the correct answer, that water cycle is the process by which all the three forms of the water are going round and round or circulating in the atmosphere, right? Which are connected with each other. Very good question. Okay, so I cannot give you the number. Very sorry. Okay, stay with me and we will meet again and again in the YouTube as well as the Swiflearn classes, right? Chalo. So we have already studied these things. Let us find out whether you have like studied or not, right? Let me give you some of the question. First question is, what are the main sources of water? Let me see who can give me the correct answer. So as you already know that whoever will give me the correct answer first and most of the answer in this session, I'll write their names. Okay, I'll write their names at the end of the session in the board over here, right, on the screen. So let me find out who can give me this correct answer. What are the main sources of water and what are the main usage of water in our daily life? Fine. So these questions are for you. Okay. So I'll wait for your answer. And now let us move on to the things which we have already studied. Fine. So we have already studied why the earth is blue in color, or it seems to be blue from the space, and that is why we call it as the blue planet. Do you remember why it is? Because yes, 71% of the earth's surface is filled up with water, and that is why we call it as the blue planet, right? Okay, I guess you have already got the answer. We have also discussed this in the previous session. Now let us move on to the water cycle. Let me remind you what the water cycle is, and we have already studied in the previous session that the water cycle is the circulation of the water in its different forms, in both the solid in all the solid, liquid and the gaseous form in the atmosphere. So what will happen first? The collection of the water is there in the different water bodies, where when the sun will rise, it will give the heat of the sun on the water bodies, and what will happen? The surface of the water will become heated up and they will start evaporating, right? So evaporation will take place. That is the process by which the water will be converted into water vapor. Remember, now after evaporation, the hot air or the water vapor will go up and up and up and up, and they will reach at the higher level of the atmosphere, where they will meet the cold air. And when they come in contact with the cold air, what will happen? Condensation, right? Hi Yash, good afternoon, how are you? Okay, so condensation will take place and formation of the cloud will take place. What is condensation? We have also discussed this one. So when the water vapor will be converted into water, that is condensation, right? So it will form the very small tiny droplets of water, and they will form the fluffy soft cloud, right? Okay, now after the formation of the cloud, when it will become like the tiny droplets of water will gather and accumulated in a place to form the cloud, and it will become heavy and very heavy. Now it will not be able to hold that much amount of water. Then what will it do? It will give all the water to the ground again. So it will call the process of precipitation. So what is precipitation? It is the process by which all the water or water droplets which are present in the cloud, it will fall again on the ground, and the different water bodies we can see in like on the surface of the earth, right? So the precipitation may include the rainfall as well as hailstone, or it sometimes as the snowfall. It depends on in which region it is happening and depending on the climatic condition of the region, right? So this is the whole cycle. Again it will be collected in the water bodies, again it will be evaporated, then condensed, then precipitation takes place. It will again and again happen, and this cycle is known as the water cycle. Clear hai? Yes, remember? Okay, I'm fine, Yash. Hi. Okay, so Yash, I have already asked two of the questions, so give me the answers quickly. That is, what are the daily usage of water, and secondly, what are the different sources of water? Okay, so as I already always write your name, who will give me the correct answer, and most of the answer in the session, at the end of the session I'll write their names on the screen, right? So let me find out how who can give me these answers. Okay, chalo. Now let us move on to the next question. What will happen to the water that rain and snow bring to different region of the earth? Have you ever heard that? Have you ever thought of it that rainfall takes place, snowfall takes place during the winter season? There are various mountainous region in India also, as well as in the other countries where snowfall takes place again and again. So what will happen to this snowfall and the rainfall when they come in contact with the earth's surface? So where will it go? Have you ever thought of it? Yeah, any idea what will happen to all this water which are coming on the earth's surface as the rain and the snow? Yes. Okay, very good, Sailendra. It is rain, well, river, pond, sea, ocean. These are the different sources of water. Very good, very good. Yes. And so, what will happen to the rainwater and the snow water when it will come in contact with the earth's surface? They will again flow through the different drainage system, as well as they some of them will seep down within the soil. It will be absorbed by the soil, and some of them will again go back to the ocean. Right? Yes, so they will go back to the ocean when the water falls on the ground as the snowfall, all the or the rainfall. They again will drain all together towards the ocean, and it will be collected in the ocean. Yes, very good. Collected or sipped into the ground. Very good, Sailendra. Yeah. Okay. Yes, your second answer is also correct, Sailendra. That is the washing, cooking, cleaning. These are the different uses of water, right? Yes, bathing, right? Brushing. So these are the various uses of water in our daily life. Chalo. Now let us move on to what will happen to the rainwater when it fall on the ground. So when it will be falling on the ground, obviously when it fall on the lake or pond or well or river, it will be the collection of the water in the water bodies. Right? This is clear to us, right? Now let us find out what will happen when the rainwater will fall on the ground. Yeah, have you ever wondered that if today is heavily raining and it is falling all the water, the roads will become waterlogged, the soil means the whole thing will become waterlogged, but the next day the whole water disappears, right? So what is happening over here? How is it disappear? It will be absorbed by the soil, right? So the soil is having a lot of layers, right? One after another, the horizon A, B, C, D, like this. The different layers of the soil are there, and the water, the rainwater, will seep down through the soil and it will be collected under the ground. And this water is known as the groundwater. Okay, so we bring out this groundwater using the hand pump or the tube well, right? Have you ever found or have you ever seen this type of tube well? When we pump it, the groundwater, the water which is already collected in the ground, they go up and we can use them in the different purposes, right? For bathing, washing clothes and utensils, right? Or the daily sort of activities, we can use this groundwater, right? So this is the water which is collected under the ground. How they are collected? They seep down through the different layers of the soil and they are collected within the under the ground, right? But it is a very important as well as a very worrisome thing, like overuse of this groundwater and the loss of the groundwater due to various purposes. We will see why, what are the different purposes. Main purpose is the huge growth of the population. So the groundwater is becoming reduced again and again, right? So this reduction of the groundwater is very much worrisome, and that is why what happened, most of the places people do not get the proper amount of water, right? The proper quantity and quality of the water is not uh, like available for many people over here, right? So that is why we need to increase the groundwater table, right? So what is this groundwater table, or we generally call it as the water table? That is the upper level of the upper level of the layer at which there is a gap between the rock and the soil particle. They are filled up with the water. Can you see over here? right? In this picture it is given the different layers of the soil, right? So the different names of the layers of the soil you will study mainly in class 7. You have a separate chapter about soil, and there you will come to know about what are the different layers of the soil, and what are the different composition of the layer of the soil, as well as where the water is collected over there, right? So here in between the rocks and the soil particle there is a layer where the water is filled and water is collected. So that layer is known as the water table. Over here, can you see this one is the water table? Clear hai? So up to this much, have you got an idea what is the water table, how the rainwater goes and absorbed by the soil and through the different layers of the soil, how the water seeps down? Yeah, up to this much, any question? Okay. Now, let me remind you that the water table, which is present between the rocks, the hard rocks, and the soil particles, is not equal in all the different part of the world, right? This water table actually varies from one place to another. Clear, eh? Up to this much clear? So it depends upon also how much rainfall is happening in the particular region, and depending on that the water table varies. Okay, so it may be like this, that in the rainforest, if we think about the rainforest, there is plenty of trees and plenty of rainfall takes place over there, right? So as the rainfall is there, so definitely the water table will be more over there. But if you think about the different desert region, the arid region, what will happen? The rainfall is less over there due to no that much amount of plants are also not there, transpiration does not take place, evaporation not take place, because water bodies are also not there in much amount. If I think about the Sahara desert or any other desert, right? So what happened there, the rainfall will be less, as well as definitely the groundwater table or the water table will be less. So this water table actually varies from one place to another depending upon the rainfall of the particular region. Clear, hai, up to this much? Any question? You can ask me any sort of doubt if you have, or confusion regarding this chapter, please ask me, and please subscribe our channel in YouTube, okay? And like, comment and share, right? Chalo. So what is the main source of the groundwater? So we have already studied a lot about the groundwater, like where the groundwater is collected, how it seeps down. We will study a lot about the seeping down of the water inside the ground, okay? So that also have a different name. We will study today only, right, in today's session. So can you now tell me what is the main source of this groundwater? Yes, is it the ocean or water or the pond or the well, या फिर क्या कहाँ से सब वो ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल वो या फिर वाटर टेबल एक्चुअली फॉर्म होता है? यस, हाय आदित्य. Yes, any idea? The main source of the groundwater is the rainwater. Okay, it is due to the rain. Very good, Sailendra. Yes, very good. Yes. Okay, so the rainwater is the main source of the water on the earth, and this is the purest form of the water. So definitely nowadays the acid rain is taking place. You will come to know about the acid rain. It is due to the pollution which is happening, and that is why we cannot drink the rainwater definitely, but we can use this rainwater in the other different purposes, like you can see the washing of the clothes, washing of the utensils. We can use this rainwater in the washroom, right, in the toilets, and also this type of things we can use by rainwater harvesting. We will also study about that. Okay. So definitely, Aditya, you can enroll in Swiflearn, and we will again meet over here. Definitely, but I'm not allowed to give my number now. I'm very sorry. Okay, and definitely we will meet every day in the YouTube session also. Okay, chalo. So rainwater is the main source of the water. Now coming to the infiltration. So I have already told you that when the rainwater fall on the ground, what takes place? What happens? The soil absorbs the water, है ना? And the rainwater goes in the deep inside the soil. And when it seeps down through the soil deep below the ground, it is collected in a particular layer, right? So this process of seeping down of the water into the ground is known as the infiltration. Okay, please note it down, write it in your copy also, that what is infiltration? It is the process by which the seeping down of the water takes place into the different levels of the soil, okay, into the ground. So this process is known as infiltration. Clear hai? Yes. Okay, chalo. So the groundwater recharges through this infiltration process. So what is groundwater, what is infiltration, I guess, and what is the water table? Definitely I guess you have already come to know about it. If you have any confusion, please ask me. And let me again remind you, what is the infiltration? It is the process by which the rainwater or any water seeps down through the ground and it is collected in a table, okay, in between the rock and the soil particle, and that table or that layer is known as the water table. ठीक है, तो clear है ना? Chalo. Now let us find out another type of collection of the water which takes place between the very hard rock below the water table. So if the water table is a little bit upperward, so just below the water table, when the two layers are formed with the hard rock, in between the two layers, sometimes the groundwater is stored for future use, right? So this level is known as aquifer, right? Can you see over here, these are the different soil and there are the two rocks, hard rocky layers, and between the two hard rocky layer the artesian aquifer is present. Okay, it is stored, the groundwater is stored in this layer so that we can use it later on, right? So this is known as aquifer. So I guess you have got an idea about the infiltration, water table, groundwater and aquifer. Yes, if you get one mark question for each of the definition, I guess you will be able to write it down. Yes or no? Yes? Okay, chalo. Now let us move on to the depletion of the groundwater. What do you mean by depletion of groundwater? Yes. Why are we so much concerned about the conservation of the water, or we are concerned about the groundwater is decreasing nowadays? Why we are so much concerned about all these things? Because we have already studied that although the earth's surface is covered 71% of the water, it is covered with water for 71%, but most of the water, like 96.5% of the water among the whole water in the earth, is the water of the sea or ocean, right? That is the salty water, and we cannot use them directly, right? And only the 3.5% of the water is the fresh water. Then also we do not use the whole fresh water, because most of them are in the pond or lake or river. We cannot use them, or in the form of glaciers, right? So we can only use that 0.006% of the water which we can use for our daily life activities, right? So this is very less in amount. The fresh water which we get in hand, that is very less in amount, and due to the huge growth of the population, this depletion of the groundwater takes place. Yes, very good, Sailendra. Depletion of groundwater is the decrease in the groundwater level, decrease or reduction of the groundwater level. Very good, Sailendra. Okay. So let us find out what are the different causes or the reasons for this depletion of the groundwater. So the first main cause of this depletion of groundwater is the increasing population, right? So this is the main cause, that nowadays obviously the population is increasing and increasing, and that is why the demand of the different people is also increasing. So the consumption of the water is also increasing, and due to the construction purposes of all the different buildings, industries, factories, we can say the different shopping malls, and so also the mega cities, they are also using a lot of water, right? So due to this increase of the population, they are they are all like taking up more and more water, right? More water consumption is becoming high, right? So this is the first main reason of the depletion of the water. Okay. Next, second is the increasing industries. So definitely there are various industries where water is needed, right? So can you give me some name of the industries which demand more water? Yes, if you have the name, you can write it down in the chat box. Okay, so where water is mostly used up. So this high demand for the industries, industrial work or the factories, and also the demand for the employment, they also like use up a lot and lot of water, right? Now let me see who can give me some of the name of the industries which demand more and more water, right? Now coming to the very third reason which like cause the depletion of the groundwater, that is the agricultural activity, right? So definitely as the human being is increasing or the population is increasing, the demand for food is also increasing, and as the demand for food is increasing, definitely the agricultural field will be increased, right? So the growing of the crops and yielding of the crops, this demand will increase, and definitely the proper giving of the water, that is the irrigation purpose, will also increase, and they will have to give the water to the plants, otherwise they will not be able to give us the proper yield of the crops, right? They will not be able to give us the proper food, right? And if we don't get the food, we will die, right? So this is another reason for the reduction of the groundwater, right? Yes, very good, Sailendra. It is the thermal power plant uses water. Very good, very good. Yes. Okay, chalo. So these are the main reasons for the depletion of the groundwater. Now let us move on to our next topic, that is what will happen if it rains heavily in the region. If it is raining a lot in any particular region, definitely it will result into flood, right? The like all the buildings, all the like livestock, there will be the reduction or the like destruction of the livestock, the agricultural field, and the destruction of the building will take place, right? And that will like lead to a total destruction of that region, right? So this will cause, or the flood will cause, if it is raining heavily in a particular region, right? Now, heavy rainfall definitely will lead to a lot of hazards, as I have already said. That is risk to the human life, right? Damage to the buildings, the whole infrastructure, the factories and industries also get hampered. Also, the loss of the crops in the agricultural field as well as the livestock in the agricultural field. This will all be destroyed in case of the water, right? In case of the flood, right? Yes, so these are the results what will happen due to the heavy rainfall. Now let us find out what will happen if there is no rain at all for a long period of time. What will happen? Drought. That condition is known as the drought. That is no rain for a long period of time. We can say like for 1 year or 2 year. If there is no rainfall at all, then what will happen? The crops will not grow in the soil. The soil condition will become like this, right? Yes. So water holding capacity of the soil will be reduced, the soil erosion will take place, है ना? And the like that region, the people of that region will not get that much amount of crop and food, and it will become like a very dangerous situation, right? So heavy rainfall is also not good for us, for the survival of all the human being or the other living organisms, right? And also no rainfall is also uh, not proper for the survival of the different lives, right? So a proper amount of water which should be balanced with the water cycle, right? The balanced flow of water should be there on the earth to maintain each and every life forms, right? To maintain each and every life in our ecosystem, right? Chalo. So drought happen when it does not rain for a long period of time. I guess you have already got an idea what is a flood and what is drought, and how when flood takes place and when drought takes place, right? If you if you think that you will forget, please write it down. Okay, this drought happens if there is no rainfall for a long period of time. You can take the note. Okay, now let us move on to the next topic. Like we have already studied in the previous session, this we have already discussed that more than 50% of the population has no access to the safe drinking water nowadays, and also about like 200,000 of the people die every year because they do not get access of the safe water. Okay, the safe drinking water, which is good in quality as well as good amount, the quantity is not available, and that is why they are not they are dying every year due to the lack of the access of the water. Now can you tell me some of the examples of the water shortage in the world? Anybody, this is a question for you. Just think and say, like, any region where the water shortage takes place all over the world. Okay, let me get this answer first from you, and then I will tell you. Okay, chalo. So tell me some of the region where there is an excessive water shortage and people are so much struggling for getting access to the fresh water, which will be good in the quantity as well as the quality, which will help them for like drinking purpose or cooking purpose or bathing, hand washing or the growing of the different food like the agricultural purposes. Okay, so let me find who can give me this answer. Okay, now as we already know that only very small fraction of the water is available on the earth which is fit for our health, right? Like I have already mentioned it in percentage, that is 0.006% of the water among the whole water present in the earth's surface is what we get in hand, that is the fresh water which we get for our daily activities, for our daily use. Now most of the water in this ocean is mainly in the ocean and the sea, which we definitely cannot use them directly, and once the groundwater is decreased it cannot be used again, so we have to conserve the water, right? So that is very important for us, and the amount of water which remains on the earth's surface, that remains, and but still the water available for usage of the daily life, for the daily life activities, is very less, right? So these are the different points. Keeping in mind, we have to do what? We have to conserve the water. So any idea how we can conserve the water? Yes, Sailendra, very good answer. Yes, Middle East countries face the water shortage. Very good. Yes, the arid region, right? The mainly the sub-Saharan African region, or we can say in the very like mm, um, what you say, like the megacities of Asian countries also have the shortage of water, right? Yes, definitely. Very good. Chalo. So can you tell me how we can conserve the water in different ways? Yes, so why this conservation of the water is very important? Because most of the water is seawater and the ocean water, and the very little amount of fresh water is there for our use, right? So that is why conservation of the water is very much important. Yes. So, what are the different ways to conserve the water? Very first and important way of conserving the water is rainwater harvesting, right? So, how it can be done? Now, when the rainfall will take place, it will increase the availability of the water which we can use later on, right? So, when rainfall will take place, we can collect the water in a proper way, right? Can you see in this image, right? The rain is falling, and in the house there is a proper pipe system or a drainage system which is there, and this pipe is carrying the water, this pipeline is carrying the water, this filtration is taking place in a proper way, and it can be going to the main tank, and from the tank it can like go to the different well. Yes, very good. Rainwater harvesting, Sailendra. Okay, So we can collect this rainwater and we can use them for the future use, right? In for the future purposes, we can use them in washing the clothes, washing the utensils and all, right? So this process is known as the rainwater harvesting. So if you gave any question for 2 mark or 3 mark, what do you mean by rainwater harvesting? I guess you will be able to write it. Yes. Chalo. Now let us find out how we can do the rainwater harvesting on our rooftop, right? It is very easy. See, in this method, what is happening? There is a rooftop storage tank. It is a very simple tank over here. You can see whenever it is raining, the rainwater is falling on the roof and it is collected in a small tank. It is going to the pipe, through the pipe, and it is collected in a storage tank, right? And through the pipe it will be supplying the water to the different region, to the different like kitchen or the washroom region of your house, right? So this type of rainwater harvesting, which is a very simple process, we can also do it in each of our houses, right? Now the third thing also we can do like this, it is the refilling the groundwater. So in this way, what we have to do, we have to allow the water to go into the ground directly. Okay, so from the road side drains and all, they collect the rainwater and they will go directly into the groundwater after going through the different type of filtration processes. Fine. So these are the different processes how we can conserve the water and we can use them for the future use, right? So water has already, like, it is perceived as a gift of the god, we always say, right? As it rained from the heavens, right? So we should never waste the water. That is a very important message I'm giving you, that is, please don't waste the water and we should use this water wisely and we should conserve the water, right, properly. Clear hai na? Up to this much clear, right? Okay, now we have already studied a lot about the water. Let us now find out a puzzle. Let's play, right? Chalo. So, who can give me the correct answer first? See the across puzzle. The first one is number 1. Okay, this one. Okay, so it is asking for you that process of changing the water vapor into water. What will be the answer? Process of changing the water vapor into water. Yes. What will be the answer? Yes, Sailendra, can you tell me the answer? Yes. Anybody? Yes, Yash, are you there? Okay, so the process of changing the water vapor into water is called condensation. Very good, Sailendra. Condensation. Let's move on to the next one. You think about the next one, that is, it is a universal solvent. So number 4, this will be the universal solvent. What is that? Okay, let me write down the first answer, that is condensation. Okay, chalo. So next one is, it is a universal solvent. So what is the universal solvent? It's very easy. Universal solvent का मतलब क्या है? Which can dissolve any sort of solute, right? Anything will be dissolved in it, right? Very good, Sailendra. It is the water. Okay, I have to write your name today, right? Chalo. So this is the water. Coming to the next question. No rainfall for more than a year leads to dash in the region. So number 5, this one. Let me see what will be the answer. Like, what will happen if there is no rainfall at all for a long period of time, like for 1 year? What will happen? Yes, let me see who can give me the correct answer. Yash, are you there? Shivansh? Yes. So, what will happen if there is no rain at all for a long period of time? There is a condition which will arise, and that condition is known as drought. Very good, Sailendra. Now, let us move on to number 7th. Okay, excessive rainfall leads to. Okay, so let me write down this answer. This is drought. Okay, so number 7, what will happen if there is excessive? Okay, hi Drishti, you are a new student. Okay, welcome to Swiflearn. How are you? Okay. Chalo. So let me see who can give me the this answer. The seventh one. Excessive rainfall leads to. Yes, excessive rainfall leads to flood. Very good, Sailandra. Okay. Chalo. Now let us move on to the up and down, right? Okay. So the contaminant that pollute the air, water, and soil, what do we call them? Yes, number two. Yes, number two, up and down. Drishti, you can also try. I'll write down the name of the student of the session on the screen after the end of the class if you give me the correct answer first. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. I'm fine, beta. I'm fine, Drishti. Okay. So let me find out the contaminants that the pollute the air, water, and soil. What do we call them? Pollutants. Very good, Sailendra. Yes, these are known as pollutants. Clear. Up to this much clear, everyone? Now move on to the third one over here. See, process to changing the water into water vapor. What do we call the process of changing the water into water vapor? Yes. Quickly, quickly. Let me see who can give me the correct answer. Very good, Drishti. It was the pollutant. The last answer was pollutant. Very good. Okay. Yes, Sailendra, Drishti, let me see who can give me the correct answer first. So, number three, the process of changing of water into water vapor or the vapor stage is known as evaporation. Great, very good, Sailendra. Evaporation. Okay, now moving to the next one, that is the whitish air that appears in winter. So, what do we see during the winter season? Yeah, fog. Very good, Drishti. Also, evaporation. Very good, Sailendra. It is fog. Yes, and the last one, moving to the last one, that is apart from oxygen, water has two molecules of what? Think about the chemical composition of water. Okay, what is the formula of water? I'll not tell you, you will tell me. Okay, so what is the formula of the water? What is the water composition of water, chemical composition of water? Think it and tell me, apart from oxygen, what is also there in the water which has two molecules, one molecule of oxygen and two molecules of what? Yes, Drishti. Yeah, fog was the correct answer for the previous question. Very good, Sailendra. It is the hydrogen. Great. So this is the hydrogen. Okay. So water का formula क्या है? H2O. So two molecules of like two atoms of H and one atom of oxygen makes up the water. Right? Chalo. So this is all about the puzzle. Now let us revise what we have already studied, right? So what do you understand by groundwater? Let me see who can give me the answers correctly. Okay. Define infiltration. Thirdly, suggest the any five ways to save water. Fourthly, describe the rainwater harvesting. And fifthly, when does a drought occur? Okay, so let me divide this question to all of you. Let me say, like, what do you understand by groundwater? Sailendra, you write it down. Define infiltration. Drishti, you write it down. Okay, first let us move discuss this to answer, then again we will go to the third, fourth and fifth. Okay, so that it will you will come to know about all the answers, right? Chalo. So, what do you mean by groundwater? The water which is there in the ground, right? Yes. So, the water after infiltration, when it seeps down through the soil and collected under the ground or in between the rock particles and the soil, that is known as the groundwater. Clear hai? Now, what is infiltration? Yes, Drishti, can you tell me what is infiltration? Yes. Okay, so I guess you were writing down the answer na in the chat box. Yes. So let me wait for you. Very good. Yes, water that seeps down into ground is called the groundwater. Very good, Sailendra. Okay, so what do you mean by infiltration? Sailendra, you can go for the third question. Okay, suggest any five ways to save water. Right? Any five ways to save water. Fine. Okay. Chalo. So, what is infiltration? Infiltration is the process of sipping down of the water when the rainfall takes place. Now, which is the water comes in contact with the ground, the surface of the earth. What will happen? The water will seep down, right down, and it is collected in a water table. So, this sipping down of the water is known as infiltration. Yes, very good, Sailendra. The water seeps into the ground is called the infiltration. This is a process. Okay, so never forget to write the word process. This is a key word for this answer. Okay, the process of sipping down of the water into the ground is known as infiltration. So always remember that you have to give the key words in your answer, Hannah. Right, so that you will never miss at least half marks also, right? You should not lose marks, right? Okay. Yes, very good. So, any five ways to save the water? First one is keeping the taps closed. Very good, Sailendra. Anything else? Okay, I have got the answer from the from Drishti also. Very good, correct answer. Yes, yes, correct answer. Drishti. Okay. So, what are the other ways we can use to save the water during brushing or during like shaving? We should keep the taps closed, right? Yes, we should take short shower. Okay, and it will be better if you take bath with the help of the tub and the mug, not using that much amount of shower, because the shower may like it leads to more water wastage, right? Wastage of water. We can, yes, we can recycle the water for gardening. Very good, Sailendra. Yeah, recycling the water for gardening. We can do the rainwater harvesting also, Hannah. Rather than like cleaning the floor by pouring water into it, we can mop it, right? With the help of the mop, we can clean the floor, right? This is also another way of saving the water, right? Conserving the water. Yes, Drishti, very good, very good. Yes, very good, Shailendra. That is repairing of the leakage of the water, right? If there is any leak in the pipeline or in the toilet, so we have to repair it again, means then and there, right? Yes, so that the water wastage will not takes place. Very good, very good. So these are the different ways how we can save the water. Now let us move on to the rainwater harvesting. Description of the rainwater harvesting. Let me say what is that, because rainwater harvesting is very important for the conservation of the water. So what do we have to do? We have to collect the rainwater and keep it in a storage tank, so that from the storage tank there are the different pipes which can be connected to all the different taps of our houses, and that is how we can use that rainwater in the various cleaning purposes, washing and cleaning purposes, right? Yes. Now coming to the last question, when does a drought occur? Any answer from you? Yes, drought mainly takes place when there is no rainfall for a long period of time, right? So what will happen? There will be no grow of the crops, the total agricultural field will be destroyed, there will be no food for the people and no water, and it results into drought, right? Clear, Hannah? So let us now, yeah, very good, Drishti. Collecting of the rainwater. Very good. So let us find out some of the fun facts regarding the water. So water is unique in that it is only the natural substance that is found in all the three states, right? So all the three physical states are available in our like earth or atmosphere. Also we can find it in liquid, solid and gas in three forms. Secondly, drinking too much water can also be very much fatal. It will it can result into water intoxication. Okay, so drinking too much water is also not good for our health, and drinking very less water is also not good for our health. So how much water we have to drink? 3 to 5 liters of water daily, right? Always remember this. And there is more fresh water in the atmosphere than in all of the rivers on the planet combined. Can you imagine that atmosphere contain most of the fresh water than the rivers also, right? So these are the fun fact. It is there for you to remember. Now let me give you a challenge of the day, that is, can we make the ocean water drinkable in any way? Yes, this is a question to you. Let me see who can give me the correct answer in this chat box. I'll not tell you the answer now, so you can write the answer. You just think that whether we can get some drinking water from the ocean hot water, or we can change it or convert it any way into the drinkable water, and if yes, how? Okay, or if no, why? Okay, so this will be your answer. So let me find out who can give me the correct answer. And now let us play a game again. Chalo. So your first question in the game is, uh, the process of sipping the water into the ground is called what? What is the process of sipping down of the water? Okay, I'm getting from Drishti's answer that no, ma'am, it is salty. So we cannot like convert it. Okay, let me see who can others, who, what are the different other answers we are getting. Sailendra, by removing the salt and germs from the ocean water. So you are telling yes, and Drishti is telling no. So can I tell the correct answer now? Yes. So it is yes. We can actually like remove the salt, right? That is known as desalination. The process of removing the salt from the ocean water is called desalination. Okay, so there are the different desalination plants where the salt will be removed from the ocean water, and it is made drinkable. Okay, generally it is there it is used in the sheep, and also in very like many arid region, okay, the desert region where the amount of water is not that much available. Very good. So let us find out the answer of this question. Okay, so the process of sipping down of the water into the ground is known as infiltration. Very good, both of you. Okay, very good. Drishti and Sailendra, both of you, this is the infiltration. Now, coming to the next question, the place at which the groundwater is stored between the layer of the hard rock below the water table is called the aquifer. Is it true or false? Yes. So what is known as aquifer we have already studied. So when the place at which the groundwater is stored, where there are the two layers of hard rock, is it the aquifer? Yes or no? Like it is true or false? Let me see. Yes, Drishti, Sailendra. Yeah, the answer will be true. Very good, Sailendra. Very good. So the answer will be true. Now let us move on to the next question. That is the three filling the blanks are there. Right. So the first one is saying dash helps in regulating the weather on Earth. Okay. Among these three options, the drought, rainwater harvesting, and water cycle, what is helping in regulating the weather on Earth? Second question, second filling the blanks is in dash, the rainwater from the rooftop is collected in a storage tank with the help of the pipes. So, in which the rainwater we can like collect and store it for the future use, you have to give this thing the answer. And thirdly, dash is a long period without rain, leading to severe shortage of the water in that region. Okay, so very good. The first answer is water cycle. So water cycle helps in regulating the weather on Earth. Very good. Chalo. So, what will be the second answer? Rainwater harvesting. Very good. Sailendra, very good. Drishti also. So, in rainwater harvesting, the rainwater from the rooftop is collected and it is stored in the storage tank. Right? So, this is the rainwater harvesting. And third one is the drought. Very good, Sailendra. Yes. So, drought is the condition, it is for the long period of time if there is no rain at all, right? So what will happen? Severe shortage of water